spasm of fury.
Okay, can I come up out of the cellar? Is it over? Is all the bombing over? Anyway, with all the confusion and misplaced rage and dudes with their fucking heads between Abby's muscular legs, can we talk about other things? Because I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the fact that WB Games is selling off a lot of properties, or they being sold right now. And this means Mortal Kombat future and Injustice future is in a little bit of peril. And why do I say that? Because 3 of the biggest companies out there want this property, and they are the worst when it comes to microtransactions. If you were complaining about Injustice and Mortal Kombat 11 right now, it's going to be even worse. I mean, at least they fairly fixed a lot of issues with the crypt and all this other shit when it came to MK11, and they heard people rain down on them for that whole Injustice bullshit that they did with the first game. Anyway, going into it, EA, Activision, and Take-Two. Now, I can understand with Take-Two and Activision, they made some well-selling games, but microtransactions, okay? Remember that. They, especially Activision, very, very infamous for putting out a patent for, how can we say, having an algorithm of putting players up against superior ranked players who had more equipment than them. You get your ass handed to you, and then you get advertised the very weapons, and they send you a link. It's a link right there on the screen. They're like, oh, you want this weapon here? This is what this person used in this perk here. You can buy it here in the microtransaction store. It was infamous for that, and this is why Modern Warfare came out the way it is now, because the fans were getting pissed off. But I have this notion that they may go right back to using those same tactics once they try to earn back enough of your trust. And you want them to have Mortal Kombat 11. I don't. EA, fucking EA. Star Wars Battlefront, anybody? Got other Madden, the same game you've been getting for the last decade. Would you buying an updated roster? They haven't done much for the fucking game, have they? Nothing really. And they were so adamant on getting rid of the competition that they got the NFL license exclusively, squeezing out 2K games, And guess what? We're stuck with the same fucking game. And the fact that people are still buying this, I don't want to hear shit from none of you guys about trying to jump on this microtransaction thing and be like, oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. No, because a lot of you are complicit in it. A game has really got to be of my liking for me to even think about it. I was pissed off at the price of Aftermath. But guess what? On my other platform, I have a Nintendo Switch as well. And if I wanted to buy, I only got the bare bones Mortal Kombat I got pre-owned. If I wanted to buy Aftermath, that bundle is a good deal for me. So it's good and bad to that. So EA, because I just really went on a tangent right there. But EA is perhaps the worst when it comes to it, because they want to make their games into life services, and Mortal Kombat, for fuck's sake, is not a life service, and it should never even be thought of as such. And look at how they fucked up Anthem. Look at how they messed up Mass Effect Andromeda. There's a lot of reasons why EA should keep their hands away from it, more than Activision. I don't want neither one of them with it. But then we have the other company, Take-Two Interactive. And come on now, Grand Theft Auto is long as Red Dead Redemption 2 and Grand Theft Auto 5, they put a lot of quality and a lot of years into developing that game. And you know what? The microtransaction, the shark cards, all that stuff, you don't need that to enjoy the one player campaign mode, but let alone it's still predatory. Once you beat the campaign mode and there's not much for you to do in that game anymore but drive around and just start shit, it ain't really no more story to it. You want to go and play online with other people, right? You will want to do that to get more of your money's worth out the game, but you pouring in more money to the goddamn game. And these three companies right here. But I look at it like this, y'all. There's another company that has interest in it, and this was brought to my attention by Dynasty and Microsoft. If Microsoft gets their heads on that part of, they bring NetherRealm in and things of that nature, I don't want to hear nobody complaining, oh my God, Mortal Kombat is only console exclusive to the Xbox. I don't want to hear that shit. You know why? 3 words. Street Fighter 5. Okay? Street Fighter 5. Where can I only play that at right now? What console can I only play that on? That's right, the PS4, Sony. So imagine, and I would laugh my motherfucking ass off right now. Imagine if Mortal Kombat 12 and going forth becomes a Microsoft exclusive. That shit would be funny. You know how much outrage you would hear from the Sony ponies? So much outrage from the Sony ponies. And I will relish in it. Why? Because I don't hear none of the Xbox people complaining about Street Fighter 5. I don't. I don't hear people complaining about Street Fighter 5. Oh my God. No. A lot of them are complacent with playing multi-console fighting games for the most part. But imagine that WB Games or just NetherRealm or something of that nature, they strike a deal with Microsoft and Series X ends up with Mortal Kombat, the only place to play Mortal Kombat 12 at or going forth. And people would say, well, that's going to ruin them. They ain't going to sell a lot. I'm like, but think about this. It costs more to produce a game for multiple consoles than it does for one console, right? Break it down. Let's break it down like this. It costs less to do it for one console, and you can get more pure profit. Why? You don't have to worry about Sony. You don't have to worry about Nintendo. You don't have to worry about them getting them to advertise for. You don't have to worry about production costs would be cheaper also, because you're only focusing on one format of hardware. You don't have to tweak it, tune it, spend so much time on other ones trying to get it to run at an optimal level where you can only focus on getting it optimal for one console. So production costs will go down, profit will go up because there's less for you to have to focus on in development, which means less man hours, quicker production for the game if they want. I don't want this to be a yearly franchise. I don't. The fact that they pouring so much effort into Mortal Kombat 11 is pretty good. I mean, Aftermath, like I said, my only discrepancy with that was the pricing for those who played Mortal Kombat 11 and bought it day one, and how they have to pay $40 for it. But then again, I'm like, I paid Mortal Kombat. I bought Mortal Kombat a long time ago. I done got my money. I got my money's worth out of it. And then these companies are in the business for doing what? Making money. So if they want to bring in new Mortal Kombat players, they're gonna give them the most enticing deal. And I know it's a slight to the people who've done it day one, but these are businessmen. They don't give a fuck about our snowflake feelings about games and prices. They don't. They really don't. And I expect as such. I'm not happy with it, but I understand from a business standpoint. A lot of you entitled gamers have this whole mentality that everything has to be catered to us. But yes, these companies do need money. Do they need as much as we think? Possibly no. That's just, is there a lot of greed to it? Yes. And it manifests themselves? Yes, that's just how it goes sometimes. But these games need a certain amount of money. You gotta understand marketing, paying for these employees and deals and just different things. They need all this other stuff that it goes into it. It really goes into that. And then you understand these studios get but a certain amount of cut from these games. But then the company that owns them gets a big profit off of it. And they get like the remaining. It's just weird how these guys bust their ass to make these games, and the bigger company is like, you know what? Well, hey, we the ones that keep you in business, so we're gonna take most of the money. It is what it is. But all in all, I really don't want Mortal Kombat in the hands of EA, Take-Two, or fucking Activision. If they're gonna do, given a track history. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place here. I just had me some coffee with some protein in it. I'm just really just firing on this. So I don't do my videos with a script. And I would be shocked if it ends up with Microsoft. But the best bet for it is for WB to fucking think about it. Think about it, because I don't know, they saved it. Mortal Kombat would have been done if they didn't get midway out of financial trouble and bankruptcy. They would have been done. The series would have been over with. And then giving it life by adding it, the DC versus Mortal Kombat thing, and that breathed a little bit more air into its lungs to go into Mortal Kombat 9, then X, and then to the current 11. And then 2 Injustice games. I think they should not give it up. But out of the 5 options, I would say the best option is them to keep it, seconded by Microsoft. The other 3 can kick fucking rocks. 'Cause I'm a Fury, I'm out. Peace.